You love Lord of the Rings. We love Lord of the Rings. And yes, Lord of the Rings has received the animated treatment. But what if one of the greatest animation studios got their hands on the iconic franchise? Let's take a look at what Lord of the Rings would look like as a Disney movie. Number 1. The biggest question we're all thinking is, what would our beloved hobbits and heroes look like after being given the Mickey Mouse treatment?
Wanna see it?
British media group Lad Bible has shared some images online of what the characters would look like in their Disneyfied versions. In these photos, Aragorn is shown to have his sharper edges smoothed out visually in comparison to the version we know from the live-action film, while still being very recognizable as the king that does return. Moving on to Frodo and Sam, they look adorable as ever. Probably the most Disneyable characters in the franchise, hobbits would fit perfectly into a Disney film. Gandalf's animated look is certainly more rounded than his live-action counterpart, and while he looks kinder, some of the mystery and edge the original character had is lost. Hopefully a Disney version would find a way to not take away all of the mystery that made the character so iconic. On to the very tough subject of Gollum.
There's something down there. It's Gollum.
The live-action version did a great job of balancing the sweet and the homicidal parts of this character. But in this version presented, he just looks like a child's plastic toy. What would Disney do with a character like this? Not an easy task, but perhaps Turbo from Wreck-It Ralph would make a good template for him?
What's happening out there?
Shall I describe it to you, or would you like me to find you a box?
Legolas and Gimli, on the other hand, would fit right into the Disney animation style. A bit of comic relief, a little bit of magic realism. These characters would be right at home in a Disney animated picture. And Disney does have a lot of experience with elves and dwarves, famously. On the subject of elves, how about an elf queen? Galadriel looks amazing as an animated Disney queen, and you don't need to look far to see Disney knows how to make royalty look good. Number 2. Is Mordor a land too dark for Disney to pull off? Well, they do have some experience in that field. The Lord of the Rings trilogy is a pretty dark story, and it's not like Disney stories never go there. But there's a lot more of this dark side of war and conflict in the Lord of the Rings. It's likely some of the more violent parts of the story would have to be softened for a younger target audience. In Disney films, we do see a fair bit of violent scenes, but when someone's life is over, good or bad, it's very rarely shown on the screen. And when it is, it's pretty surprising. A lot of the larger battle scenes, like the Battle of Minas Tirith, would have to be toned down a fair bit if not removed completely. They could probably pull off a cool Legolas sliding moment still, but we'd have to cut out where all those arrows actually end up once they're shot. Oh, and Gollum's fate at the end of the story? Maybe he falls into a ball pit instead? Just kidding. They could make this work, maybe. Number 3. Disney is known for its music numbers, and while you wouldn't expect any dancing candlesticks in a Disney version of The Lord of the Rings, music numbers aren't actually such a new addition to the series. It's not as crazy as it seems to imagine Lord of the Rings with more musical moments, as the 1980 animated adaptation of the books actually featured a musical number.
There's a way where there's a whip. We don't want to go to war today.
One of the very few written moments where the series acknowledges the harsh conditions and the point of view of the orcs themselves, as they're more likely to just be seen as evil, endless baddies for Legolas to snipe. In the live-action film, there is an excellent montage shown while Pippin is commanded by Denethor to sing him a song. And while it may not be officially recognized in the Lord of the Rings canon, a YouTuber's famous remix of several moments of the film went viral years ago called "They're Taking the Hobbits to Isengard." And what we wouldn't give to see Disney create a full, faithful musical number to include the incredibly popular meme.
Precious.
While it's very unlikely to happen, a Disney version of Lord of the Rings is a very fun prospect to think about. What do you think? Do you think it will work? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe for more animated content. And thanks for watching The Things Animated.